I'm waiting on your cue, Carrie. Okay. Hello and welcome to Musician Spotlight. This is Michael Marsalic. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the program tonight Craig Brown and Bill Morrissey.
He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. When I hear his name, I just can't keep from crying. He was a friend of mine. He died on the road. He died on the road. Never had no money to pay for his ball. He was a friend of mine. I stole away and cried. I stole away and cried. Never had no money and I can't be satisfied. He was a friend of mine. No wrong. He was just a poor boy, a long way from home. He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. When I hear his name, I just can't keep from crying. Was a friend of mine.
Tonight on the program, Greg Brown and Bill Morrissey. Welcome back to Montana.
Yeah, great to be
Thanks. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we get you back every year to do some fishing. Is that right?
I know, we keep showing up just a bit too early.
You know, come back every year to talk about fishing.
Well, I hope you get a chance to get out. And
I think we will.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So tell me the story behind this collaboration. You both have great solo careers and quite a few recordings to your credit individually. And
well, you know, we're not getting any younger, and we thought, it's kind of the twilight of our careers, and we thought anything to sell a few records really will.
It's just kind of a cheap gimmick.
Even though it's hard for us to put up with each other, we thought, look, if we could sell even 15, 20,000 albums, it'd be worth it.
We're kind of like the Red Sox. We won't even take the same plane,
Right.
And just kind of we don't really talk, off stage.
Show up 5 minutes before the gig.
Kind of Sonny Terry Brown.
I mean, he's a wet,
kind of
fly fisherman. I fish dries. And it's a kind of. Yeah, we discussed the thing. We've had a lot of arbitration just to get this kid going.
Right.
Well, you take lead. No, you take lead. Oh, okay. And we fight it out. We usually arm wrestle.
Arm wrestle, yeah.
Right.
Then,
So Bill gets his way most of the time.
Yeah, it's kind of I have a special technique.
I heard something about how you were originally planning on plotting out the tour by the rivers that you're trying to fish along the way. Is that...
Well, there was some talk of that. Actually, we did aim for that. I mean, we did try to go places where we'd have a chance to fish, but our luck has not been good. I mean, we started in Vermont and it snowed.
we were traveling with fly rods. We got out when Greg came east to just do some rehearsing for
That's
the
just
tour.
early May, wasn't it, Bill? When
Yeah.
it snowed in Vermont?
Yeah, but we got out in Massachusetts where it's a little better. The water wasn't
Yeah.
too high. Then we got up north in New England, and really, I mean, we're all set to go out. We woke up, looked out the motel window, and 3 inches of snow,
3 inches of snow.
which of course calls for wet flies.
Right, right. That's great. So where do you make your homes these days? I don't know.
I'm still in Iowa City, Iowa.
I'm outside of Boston. They're kind of like the sister cities.
Right. Right.
So it's a long commute to practice.
Yeah, I guess. So have you known each other a long time?
Actually, not well, other than high school. We played
What
2
story
years.
should we tell?
No, when did we meet? It was 5, 6 years ago.
I think about that. Yeah, I heard Bill's tapes a long time ago.
What's
there was
it?
a guy in Northampton that taped both of us at this club,
In Northampton, Massachusetts.
and then he gave us the other guy the tapes. So I had Bill's tapes, and they became favorites in my family car.
Great.
So it was
I
like we,
listened to them over and over and over.
when we finally met, I felt like I knew him, and I really didn't want to meet him.
Didn't want it to spoil it, right?
No, but then he said he was a fly fisherman. I thought, okay, maybe he's not that bad, but he is. So
That's great. Well, I hope you get a lot of chance to do some fishing.
well, it's great for me to get out here and fish the western rivers.
Have you been
Greg's-
to Montana before?
Yeah, I was here. I don't know. I think about a year ago, and traveling with fly rod, and it was too early, but I was hoping.
I actually had real good luck in Missoula. One time I came out here, it was in March, and I thought it was too early to fish, but they said the streams were open. I didn't have anything with me, but I went down to a pawn shop, got a pawn shop fly rod and a little shoe polish box of flies, all for about $10.
All right.
Went up to Rock Creek, if I remember right. Is that creek?
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
40 miles?
Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. And it was March, there was snow on the ground still. But I caught 2 beautiful rainbows and put them right back in, like a good catch and release guy.
All right.
That was like paradise. I couldn't believe it, with a pawn shop fly rod in March.
Greg did okay a couple of days ago. We were up in on Baker Lake in Washington State, and he caught a steelhead that was almost.
That was a nice one, yeah.
It was just under 2 feet.
Oh.
We didn't let that one go either.
No,
I fixed that up with some
That-
potatoes.
that was kind of let's buy the hibachi for the tour.
Right. Well, tell me a little bit, Bill, about you've had an opportunity to work with some other great musicians in addition to Greg in your career, and you both have had some great people. Some of my favorite female artists, Suzanne Vega and Sean Coleman,
Well, Sean's been on Greg's. She was on One Big Town, right?
No, she's
Down in
down
there.
in there.
Down in there, yeah. Sean is, I think, it's a real experience to sing with her. She's a great singer, but she's also a great backup singer. She can really match phrasing if she wants to, or it's almost like a chameleon-like quality.
It's really quite a musician, yeah.
And then when you sing with her live, say after you've recorded it, she matches you, but she does a completely different harmony, and it throws you off. I mean, she's just a great singer. And Suzanne, I liked working with because it's, she has that vibrato, this kind of cool voice, and it seemed. I thought it sounded pretty good with my kind of dump truck rumble, and, yeah, they're just they're old friends from the village in New York and stuff.
Sure.
And I just, working with Johnny Cunningham, I don't know if he's been out here, a fiddle player from Scotland who was with Silly Wizard and Relativity and the Rain Dogs. He's an experience.
Well, being from your respective places that are so far apart, the Northeast and Iowa City, did you grow up and have all sorts of different influences?
A lot of the same,
Influences?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, mine were, my first influences were very much my family and my church, really. Like many American musicians before me, I grew up in the church, Open Bible Church, gospel music. And then my mother's family all played banjo and fiddle and pump organ, old hillbilly music, really, mongrel music, I used to think of it. Just a real mix, old mountain tunes and country tunes up to about Hank Williams. And ballads. My grandma knew a lot of, she's Irish, she knew a lot of the old ballads.
And,
So it was really my family first, and then the gospel music really led me into an interest in blues because it was just across the street, really. You know,
Right.
instead of singing about Jesus and heaven, you were singing about, you know, drinking and gambling. But a lot of the music was the same. It had a lot of the same spirit beat to it, you know. So
And I grew up Catholic, so we used to do a lot of Gregorian chants,
Right.
and that and Broadway,
Right.
and a little R&B.
That's great. That's
country,
great.
I think, you know, country music was real important to me growing up. And then, you know, early rock and roll, too. I love that stuff. I was kind of lucky because rock and roll was a sin, technically, in our church. But my father, who was a preacher, he was pretty liberal-minded, really, for a Southern Baptist guy. And I got to listen to Jerry Lee and, you know, all those people.
Do you consider yourselves first and foremost musicians, guitar players, or vocalists, or singers, or a little bit of both? Do you ever think about that?
I think of myself as a songwriter, really. The rest is just kind of what I have to do to get the songs out.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I think of myself mostly as a musician, as a singer and a player, and the songwriting comes very easy to me.
It's a nightmare for me.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm constantly editing and constantly working on the same 4 lines. Just it's a slow process.
I'm getting more like that as I hang out with Bill. I start
I'm getting
like,
looser now.
rewriting and stuff like that.
I can just kind of make up songs, and yeah,
That's great.
it's a lot.
That's great.
Yeah, Greg gets these grooves going, and just
Yeah, I'm really more of a groove player. I'm always looking for the groove, and once I find that, the song just kind of seems to fall out, you know.
and I just go line by line, and I spend more time editing than actually writing.
Are you a Virgo, Bill?
No,
your birthday?
no, it's November
Oh,
25th. I think it's, I don't know.
what is that? What's your sign?
Sagittarius, man.
Yeah,
What about you, man?
I'm Cancer. I'm a moon child. It fits. Everything fits. It always, you know, when I look in the books and things, I think, yeah, that's it. It's all true.
You look in the books and you go, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, of course. If you look under any of the signs, it all seems to be true. So
They do that deliberately, make it vague enough so it
Right.
fits everybody,
You can-
right?
You can, yeah.
Well, your new recording, is it, I understand you're in a kind of a whirlwind tour. You've got your new recording out called Friend of Mine, and collaboration CD. Is this the first time you've played together on a recording, or did you guys guest on some of your...
Well, Greg came out to do one number with me on the last solo album I did, Inside. We did a traditional thing called Hang Me, Oh Hang Me, and that was a lot of fun. It sounded good to me, and so we thought we'd do, we started talking about it. Well, Greg, when he's back east, we, come by and we'll play some stuff. When he was out fishing, you fish all day and cook up the trout and then have a few beers and play songs, and we never really played our own stuff. So we were pulling out everything from Jimmy Rogers to all kinds of stuff, and we thought, let's do a record.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me about the tour. Where do you go from Montana, from Missoula?
Then I go back east, and we have a couple separate dates, and we hook up again on the East Coast to do, 5-6 dates. A couple, New Hampshire, Northampton, Massachusetts, Boston, just outside Philadelphia, and D.C. And then
I'm
that's
glad
it.
you know all this, Bill.
Yeah, and then I never want to see him again.
Yeah, that's the end of it. We just have that little East Coast. We did Vermont and a little bit in Maine, and then we did the 4 or 5 gigs in the Midwest and this Northwest. Stuff in Montana, then back to the East Coast, and then it's all over.
Great. Well, I wish you the best of luck with your
Thanks a lot.
recording. It's a great recording. And I'd
It's
like
kind
you
of fun, for a couple songwriters to do a record of just stuff that we liked.
Right.
It's
We just thought a lot of those songs.
really kind of an endless pool of it. I mean,
We recorded a lot more than made it on the record, and just a lot of songs people haven't recorded in 30 years or heard. But stuff, some of it we grew up with, some. It's been fun. We met, Greg knew him before, but Danny O'Keefe, who wrote The Road, came by the show we did on Vashon Island outside Seattle. And that was nice to finally meet him. We didn't do his song, though, during the show.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's. I just like those old songs. I just want to have the feel of two guys sitting around playing after they've been out fishing. Not a very slick record. just kind of a loose, fun. That's what folk music is.
Yeah, it's very real. You know, it's a lot about what you guys are about as far as your music, I think.
Yeah, it's different than what our own individual records are like. So it was a lot of fun.
Great.
We had a fun time doing it. We had 3 feet of snow
Oh, that's right.
fall one night in the
That's
studio.
right. That's right. Oh, I'd forgotten.
Had a full moon with an eclipse.
Wow.
It was great. We had a little camera in the studio, so we could, in the booth, we could watch the eclipse, and every 10 minutes we'd have to lift the camera up as the
And
moon
the
was
door,
going.
remember the door, the front door, you couldn't even go out because the snow was drifted up over there. I'd forgotten.
It's this studio I use a lot. Every time I go there, there's some sort of natural disaster.
Really?
So I'm 3 for 3, so they're nervous about my next record.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Greg Brown and Bill Morrissey, my guests on Musician Spotlight, and it's great to have you here. Will you play some more music for us?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
This is that 1st one.
Let's pause just 1 second
Okay.
here, and we'll change the tape and see if Carrie's okay. And